Hey everybody, hope you're all doing well. I'm really excited for this video today because I just listed this Beatles album, Yellow Submarine, on my website, needlemeetsvinyl.com. And this is the very first time I've had Yellow Submarine on my website. I've had a lot of people who have sent me emails asking when I'm going to have Yellow Submarine on the website. And I've been working on it for probably the last 5 months, trying to find a pressing that was really, really great. And it proved to be pretty difficult, but I finally hit upon this one. This one sounds so good. It is absolutely amazing. So this is a UK pressing, it's stereo. There were a few mono pressings made, by the way, of Yellow Submarine, but this is a stereo pressing of Yellow Submarine. It's from the UK. And this happens to be from the mid-1970s, and it is so near mint. It is almost mint. It is absolutely beautiful. It is flawless. It plays so great. Now, almost all the records on my website are at least near mint, or sometimes they'll be excellent if it happens to be a very rare pressing, but most of the time I go for near mint. This one is even better than all the ones I've had on the website before in the sense of the condition of the record. This one is so crystal clear. Sometimes you get records that were just pressed in such a perfect way that even the groove space in between the songs is dead quiet. This is one of those. It's so nice. Now, that's all well and good, but if it doesn't sound great, then who cares if it's quiet? But it does sound great. This has everything you want when it comes to analog Beatles magic. Has fantastic warm bass. In fact, the bass on this is so much better. This is a prime example of why I think these UK pressings of these Beatles albums are better than the '09 remasters. Now, some of the '09 remasters are really great, and overall, that was a very excellent job done, and those are really fun to listen to. But some of the areas where they kind of, in my opinion, overcooked a little bit of the music was the low end with the bass. It got to be a little bit too much. Didn't really sound authentic to me. This pressing right here has authentic sounding bass. This is the way you want to hear Paul McCartney playing bass on Hey Bulldog. And by the way, Hey Bulldog on here absolutely just kills. It is so excellent and really great. On top of that, It's All Too Much is on this album, and that song absolutely kills as well. So fantastic, especially that opening distortion guitar and the feedback. Very cool on this pressing. So this is just an excellent sounding pressing of Yellow Submarine, and it happens to have HTM in the dead wax, by the way, which is a very important factor as to why this pressing is so fantastic. But I'm just really excited to finally have this on the website, and I went through probably in total about 11 different pressings of Yellow Submarine. I listened to some German pressings from like the early 70s. I listened to a bunch of US pressings, and the US pressings are actually pretty good, I gotta say, for Yellow Submarine. They're all pretty good, but they do not in any way beat the UK pressings of Yellow Submarine. I also have in my collection an original 1969 UK pressing of Yellow Submarine on the Apple label, and while that one sounds really good, those are very expensive, and that's why I don't have that in the running for my website. So if you can get your hands on an original UK, any original UK Beatles pressing, definitely do it, but it's going to cost you upward to $500 to $1,000. They're so expensive, and finding them in good condition is next to impossible. So anyway, that's why I know a lot of my videos people ask, well, why don't you have original UK pressings of Beatles albums? Just because they're so hard to find and they're so expensive. So what I try to do is find the best sounding pressings of Beatles albums that are not those original UK pressings. And I have to say, by the way, many times the original UK pressings are not the best sounding pressings. And I've heard a lot of the original UK pressings, and some of them are indeed excellent, of course. But there are rare instances where I think other pressings are better than even the original UK ones. So that's a whole nother road that we can go down sometime and talk about. But let's get back to Yellow Submarine. So Yellow Submarine is an album that I think gets majorly overlooked in the Beatles catalog, and I actually understand why, and I even think it's an album that if you had to overlook any of the Beatles albums, this is the one that you would overlook, because it doesn't have that many as far as new songs. That when this album came out, the songs weren't all that new, because on side one you get two songs that had already been released. The title song, Yellow Submarine, which of course was on Revolver, it was also released as a single. And then the song All You Need Is Love, which is the last song on side one, that also was released as a single. And it came out on the Magical Mystery Tour album in the US. So those two songs you'd already heard before. So that only left 4 songs that we hadn't heard before, and one of them is Only a Northern Song, which is a George song. The other is All Together Now, which is a Paul song, and then Hey Bulldog, which is a John song, and then It's All Too Much, another George song. Now those 4 songs, in my opinion, make owning this album totally worth it, because I think they're excellent, excellent songs. A lot of people kind of cast them aside as, oh, well, these are throwaways. But let's not forget, this is the Beatles. The Beatles' throwaways are any other band's career highlights. I mean, any album that has Hey Bulldog and It's All Too Much is an album that you have to own, especially when they sound as good as they do on this pressing. So, yeah, Yellow Submarine is an album that gets overlooked, and rightfully so, but it is essential to own if you are going for a complete Beatles collection on vinyl. So, Yellow Submarine, this one sounds great. And I almost forgot, but I'm glad I didn't. The songs on side 2, by the way, the George Martin orchestrations, are beautiful, and they sound unbelievable on this pressing. I will even go on the verge of saying that I think the George Martin songs sonically sound better than the songs on side 1. And that's not putting down the songs on side 1, because they absolutely rock and they sound great. But the orchestrations on side 2 are really magical, and if you have not ever taken the time to listen to those songs on side 2, the George Martin orchestrations, you need to do it, because they're really, really beautiful, really great, and really a fun listening experience. So Yellow Submarine is really great. Go to the website, needlemeetsvinyl.com. Pick this one up. It will be going very quickly. I've had over 5 people email me in the last month or two asking when this will be on the website. So I'm sure those 5 are already waiting for it to be on the website. So jump now, pick it up. I'll try to get another one as soon as I can, but finding these Beatles albums takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, because I go through so many pressings to try to find this very one that is the best one. So head on over, needlemeetsvinyl.com. By the way, I should say I have a lot of Beatles titles coming to the website this weekend and early next week. And some of those titles are Beatles for Sale, Hard Day's Night, Sgt. Pepper, The White Album, and Rubber Soul. Those will all be hitting the website very soon. So stay tuned and be well, have fun, and we'll talk to you later. Bye for now.